Hello.
Hey.
We're the Sad Ghost Club. I'm Lize.
I'm Helen.
And we are here today because, like everybody else, basically, we've been binge watching 13 Reasons Why.
Yes.
And talking about it a lot in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Some negative, some positive.
Yeah.
Like most people that have watched it, I think.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd have a little chat.
Yeah, we thought we'd have a chat about how we were when we were teenagers, also with a bit of perspective now.
Yeah, and wisdom.
Purely because we want to talk about it because there is always hope, and we think it's important to talk about how you're feeling, especially if you're struggling with some distressing thoughts.
Yeah. And that coming out and what we do here, it just seemed like we needed to talk it out, right?
Yeah, we think it's an important thing to talk about.
Yeah. So for this video, I'm going to be asking Helen lots of questions about her teenage years and stuff because you had a rough time.
I did.
So we're going to discuss that.
Yeah.
So Helen, have you experienced mental health issues and when did that start?
Yeah, I have. I think I started to notice some strange thoughts and stuff probably around 12 years old.
That's early, right?
Yeah, I guess so. And it was really thoughts about not wanting to go to school anymore and not really being bothered with anything anymore, and just dark thoughts of I just can't be bothered to do anything. My family noticed that my motivation had gone down because I think year 8 in the UK is when you're about 12 years old.
Yeah.
And the year prior to that, year 7, when I was 11, I was like an entirely different person. Because in year 7 I was so confident. I was like class captain, vice year captain. I was doing all this stuff.
Embracing life.
I was embracing life. I was getting my schoolwork done. Yeah. And then it just changed fairly slowly, but I became a very different person.
How did it make you feel at the time? You talked about feeling like lack of motivation and stuff. Mm-hmm. But more than that, and as you grew and became older, what was the feelings involved?
I felt, I think more than anything, really alone.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, because not everyone who goes through depression or anxiety has any reasoning behind it. It just kind of can creep up on you. But I had some stuff that went down in my life, and I felt like I couldn't tell anyone about it for fear of being judged or for worrying other people. So I think the main feeling was just like, oh man, I feel really lonely. Yeah. And that was quite tough.
Yeah, quite isolating.
Yeah, really isolating. Like I felt like I couldn't tell my parents everything that was going on. I couldn't tell my friends because I didn't know if they would understand, but I think that was the overruling.
The isolation.
Yeah, the isolation of it, definitely.
That sucks.
Yeah.
And that is tough, feeling like you can't talk to your parents and stuff. So was there anything that you can remember that stuck out that helped you through this time? Yeah,
even though I hadn't told anyone the reasoning behind how I was feeling, I did open up to certain close friends about how I was feeling. And
how was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, because I had a best friend at the time, and I told him that I was self-harming because I started self-harming when I was like 12.
Yeah.
And
my heart.
And he was actually pretty good.
So you chose the right person.
I chose the right person.
Because that, like in the show, affects it a lot, right?
But I also told someone else, and that was the wrong person.
Why? What happened?
She told people in my class.
Oh,
Yeah.
not great.
Yeah, not good. And she was just the kind of person that would kind of mock you for feeling sad.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a bummer. But I also was going online a lot, and I made some good online friends that were going through the same things. And because it was online, I felt like I had the confidence to be more open about how I was feeling with them too. So that was helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That getting rid of the face-to-face can make it a lot easier to get your feelings out.
Yeah, definitely.
So you told this person and there was a negative, but the person that you told that was the right choice, how did you find telling them? Was it nerve-wracking?
Yeah, it was really nerve-wracking.
And what was the response after? Like, they were nice about it, but
Yeah.
did it change how you felt at all? Did it get rid of the isolation at all?
A little bit.
Sometimes I feel like you expect it to a lot more than it does.
Yeah, I think when you're at such a low point, it's hard to kind of see a way out of it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really change things a whole lot, but it
helped.
Yeah, it was a small thing that I did that did help a little bit.
Yeah. Just got rid of the alone feeling.
And also I wrote a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I was writing my thoughts and feelings. I kept a diary on a Word document on my computer from like the ages of 11 to 20.
Wow.
And
That's a lot of feelings.
Yeah, it's just like pages and pages of how I was feeling at the time.
Yeah.
And that helped a lot as well. I think writing is a huge
An outlet.
cathartic thing that you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anything
for sure.
that gets your feelings down on paper really helps you think of it objectively as well.
Yeah.
Like it sort of takes it out of your own head a little bit, which can be very beneficial. So prior to telling your friend, did you seek out or receive any like official medical help, and did it help?
So I decided to really ask for help when I was 14 years old.
So that's 2 years of feeling out of sorts
Yeah.
till you asked for help.
I think,
That's a long time.
my parents definitely had concerns.
Yeah.
But I don't think I let on just how much until I was the one that said to my mum, like, oh, I need some help now.
Yeah.
So we went to my doctor and we asked for help, and then I had counselling from the ages of 14 to 18. So it was like a child NHS counselling service.
Yeah.
And it was kind of helpful. I think I was too young to fully utilise it.
Okay. Felt more like a thing you had to do than a thing that would help.
I don't really know. I think I felt frustrated because I wanted to tell my counsellor so much more than I was telling her. And
why didn't you? Do you know?
I don't know. I think it was worry or fear.
Yeah.
So she would always talk about school, and I'd get really frustrated. But I don't want to talk about school right now. I want to talk about some other stuff.
What, because school wasn't the issue?
School was definitely a big issue, but
Okay.
I wanted to say so much more, but I just couldn't.
During this time, at your worst, can you explain how you felt?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah. Well, at my worst, I definitely didn't want to live anymore, and I think.
My heart. But it's hard to hear from your friends, isn't it? Like, you don't want to think of that, but that's, you should talk about it anyway.
Well, exactly, and this is why we're doing it, because I didn't want to continue living, and I'm so happy that I am still living. Because I want to do so much cool stuff now.
That's really nice.
Like, when you're at that point where you don't want to live anymore, you cannot see yourself ever feeling.
But it's also not thinking about the future.
Yeah, you just can't see the future, and you can't.
There's no end.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's so sad and heartbreaking about it, I think, is the not seeing yourself in the future. Like so many people that have experienced what you've experienced as well, and just don't plan what they're going to do with the rest of their lives because you don't think you're going to be around.
And there's everyone always says that life is too short, but there's such a huge expanse of life.
It's pretty long.
And it's intimidating, especially when you're only, 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, how, I just cannot see any further. It's when you're in that moment, but.
Yeah. So how did feeling all of this affect your life at the time? What were you doing during this stage? I mean, being a teenager, right?
Just being a crazy teen. No, not really. Well, I hardly ever went to school.
That's not that great.
Oh, stay in school.
Yeah, stay in school.
It's so bad. I just didn't want to be there. I hardly ever went. I think I probably went 2 or 3 days a week.
Out of 5?
Out of 5. And sometimes I would just leave throughout the middle of the day. I just signed myself out, goodbye. That's so
I can't believe you had the confidence to do that. I
can't believe I was allowed to.
At school, I felt that way, but I could never have just got up and left.
I would just tell my teachers, I don't feel well, I'm going to leave. Sign myself out, walk home. That's mad.
Is it good that they let you, or is it bad?
I don't know.
No, it's tough,
idea.
Right?
I mean, my school did have a counsellor as well, and I'd go and chat to her sometimes.
Was she helpful?
She was a nice person.
I think that means no.
She was fine. Yeah.
Is there anything you would have done differently with your adult vision, your hindsight?
I would have told my parents the things that were on my mind. I would have told them earlier.
Yeah, I can't believe it took 2 years. That's crazy.
I mean, the main things that I told my mum, I didn't tell her until I was 18.
Really?
So I wish I would have told her earlier.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, because
what were you scared of?
I was so scared I was going to ruin her life or something.
Oh, yeah.
I was really scared. But when I told her, it didn't ruin her life.
No.
She was just really great about it, super supportive.
Yeah.
I think you just build up these scenarios in your head, if I tell someone this, they're going to think I'm crazy.
But you're in a place of feeling worthless. Your mind is going to go to the worst extreme because you feel why wouldn't they feel like that?
And I was also terrified of not being believed as well.
Really?
Yeah. I was really scared that people wouldn't believe me because I had people at school telling me, why are you depressed? You've got nothing to be depressed about.
That sucks.
Making me feel really guilty. You should never feel guilty about how you feel because it's important and your feelings are valid.
Yeah, I found it really hard talking to a GP about how I felt when I was 16 because a classic case of not feeling bad enough. So she asked me, have you thought about harming yourself? And I said no. And that was it. That was you're fine.
Oh, come on now.
You're no threat to yourself. And I was I'm pretty sure that how I'm feeling is not normal.
Yeah.
But just because I don't want to hurt myself,
I think that's terrible.
Yeah, that sucks. So, the other big question, how do you feel now?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety when I was 14?
Yeah.
And so, I'll go through depressive episodes.
Yeah, in the time we've known each other, I've seen you do this.
Yeah, and I think you've witnessed maybe 1 or 2 big depressive episodes. So they're they'll come and go. Maybe it'll be once a year type deal. Maybe, I don't know. But at the moment, I'm feeling quite good. last year, no, it was like the end of 2015 and up until fairly late last year.
Yeah, I remember this summer was bad.
Oh man, I was so miserable. I was so depressed.
Yeah, it was horrible to see, not to experience, obviously. I was very aware.
Man, I was sick of you, Helen.
Yeah. But it's so hard as a friend because it's so hard knowing what to do and knowing what to do in a short space of time, because I feel like I've helped you.
Oh, Lize has helped me so much, you have no idea.
I'm only saying that because she tells me.
I'm not even being sarcastic.
But that's all been very long term.
Yeah.
And when someone feels like that, like, what can you do in the short term?
Yeah.
I honestly had no clue.
Like, it's really tough.
Other than be there for you and make sure you weren't by yourself too much.
It was
that was
really
the main
sweet
thing.
Because I was feeling really bad, like,
it was
like,
upsetting.
good Lord, I want to die. Like that kind of feeling that low.
Yeah.
And then Lize would be like, you know, you can stay at mine. It was so nice.
Well, and Laura
really
looked
nice.
after you as well. You stayed with Laura.
I stayed at Laura's for a while.
So me and Laura were a bit like parents, swapping custody
and Lize
as well.
is still like my parent to this day.
Yeah.
Which is just delightful. So it was a real bad time. And then something in me just flipped.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I can't live like this. This is horrible.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some help. So I started seeing a counsellor, which has actually been really beneficial because it goes into the stuff. It's like specialised counselling, so it's around stuff that has affected me the most in my life, which is good to talk about. Yeah. And then, because I'd been signed up for work for so long, I was thinking about my future and what did I want to do. Yeah. It's like, all right, well, I'm going to get professional help, which is a great start. I started doing my artwork again, and I thought, oh, quite like to do this as a job.
But also, as your friend, I thought it would be so beneficial to have an income based on your own terms. Yeah. Because working for other people and retail is not the most fun, but it was stressing you out so much.
Super stressful. So I went on benefits, and then I applied for something called a new enterprise allowance, which supports newly self-employed people. So I did that, had a bunch of mentoring about how to start, wrote a business plan. Yeah. So I was doing all this stuff to try and help with my future.
It was great.
Which I'm so not the type of person to do things like that. So I was shocking myself. Yeah. But
it was great. I feel like you came to it with energy that I'd never seen in you before.
Yeah.
You were kind of motivated, which is crazy.
Wild. So I did that, and my business idea was approved. Yeah. And now I'm going to get a small grant, which is crazy.
To help you start up.
To help me start up. And now I'm just like doing art stuff and also working with Sad Ghost Club here and there.
Doing as much as you can.
Yeah, just doing as much as I can to stay busy, to stay focused on things that I love and enjoy.
Very important.
I mean, I am in a privileged position because, you know, I'm with really good friends and you're inspiring because you do art, you know. So I'm definitely privileged in the sense that I'm in like a good place surrounded with good people. But I really had to like dig deep and force myself to really like do stuff.
Yeah, no one made you, it came from you. And I also, as your friend, felt like it had to come from you.
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
The things that I make you do for business now, I could not have made you do a year ago. You would have just gone, no. But now she's like, okay, I'll make some stickers. Yeah. Which is great. That's definitely like the change that I have witnessed, for sure. Yeah. Willingness to learn.
Yeah, it's still an ongoing process.
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, these kinds of thoughts don't magically disappear, but it's about having the tools to kind of try and overcome them and deal with them. And I can't recommend like talking to people enough. It's so important to talk to your pals or talk to a professional or parent, guardian, anyone if you're struggling with distressing thoughts.
Yeah.
Don't keep it to yourself. I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that it, like we talked about time being your worst enemy and feeling like you're gonna feel that way forever, but
you won't.
Things pass. And that is so hard to believe when you're in that situation, but everybody has the same story as us, you know? Well, everybody. Most people have the same story as us. It gets better.
It absolutely does. Like
here you are.
I guarantee that it will get better, and it always does.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, especially when you leave school as well.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of positive changes can come about.
So much cool stuff will happen.
Yeah.
So much cool stuff can happen.
Yeah, and if you work at it, like Helen is a good example of grabbing it by the horns a little bit. You had to make the change yourself.
Yeah.
But then so much good stuff has happened because you've done that. You know?
Yeah, like
it wasn't just gonna fall into your lap. You had to start the ball rolling, and you did.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I was always waiting for something to just like fall into my lap.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen. What was I thinking?
Yeah.
You got to do stuff.
Yeah.
It feels so alien to say this. It feels so weird coming out of my mouth. Because I was the most unmotivated individual.
Yeah.
Ever.
But I also think motivation is kind of like a muscle, and you can stretch it and you can keep doing more and more and more and more once you take the first steps. Like, you'd think you could only do so much in a day, but then you get so pumped from what you've done. Like, that's kind of the way motivation works. If you keep going, obviously take breaks.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
very important. Refresh yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, motivation can be stretched and pushed, and once you start, you won't want to stop a lot of the time.
I'm still trying to reach that point. Like, I haven't quite
Yeah,
got there.
It's coming.
It'll, I'm working towards it. I still can be a bit lazy sometimes.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, yeah, you can.
oh yeah, and it's hard, but I believe that I will reach a point where I'll want to do even more.
Without me telling you.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so I was going to ask any advice you have for our watchers, but I feel like we kind of covered advice.
Yeah.
Any snap phrases?
Like, the main thing is
It gets better.
it gets better,
Right.
honestly.
Yeah.
And please talk to someone you trust if
Yeah.
you're going through anything. Yeah, it's important to talk about your feelings. Yeah.
And also, like, if I was to shoot back in time and tell 16-year-old me that this would be my job now, I would have felt like I had so much to live for. You know? I couldn't see it then. But also, I made a job out of feeling that way. So,
Yeah, exactly.
like, you have so much potential.
So much potential.
Yeah, please. Please. Please don't do anything.
Yeah, no, don't.
Because the world needs you.
Oh God, yeah, it really.
It's okay. But really, like, we weren't going to get emotional,
Yeah, it is serious business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's sad. Thinking about teenagers, even our teenage selves, is you just want to hug and say,
Yep.
look at your future, man.
If I could meet 14-year-old Helen, I would give her such a hug.
Yeah.
Be like, oh,
Oh my God, so would I.
you poor soul.
Yeah, but don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry, because look how cool I am.
So that's the takeaway, is that future you is pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly. Treat yourself like you would treat a friend.
Yeah.
That's important. Look after yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And outlets are good. I'm adding lots to the snappy advice.
Yeah.
But creative outlets,
Yeah.
writing, drawing, photography, animation, whatever it may be.
Reading is good. I read a lot of books as well.
Yeah, so did I actually.
Loads of cool books. True crime. If you're into that, read some true crime. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very niche. So let's end the video, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
I feel like we said everything we wanted to say.
I think so too.
It's hard hearing that your friends are having a hard time, but that hard feeling should not be outweighed by the responsibility you have to be there for them.
Yeah.
You know?
I think also if you are worried about a pal, then you should try and talk to them too.
Yeah. And that was something good in the show. That was kind of the point, right? They all should have done something.
You gotta do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, be there for your pals. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, subscribe to our channel. Can you say subscribe after such
I don't know. Well, if you
emotional video?
Yeah. If you wanna, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But if you would like to as well, you can write some comments down below.
Yeah, we'd love to know your opinion on the show.
And
because we're slap bang in the middle, I think.
And if you want to talk about maybe how you're feeling when you were a teenager, or if you're currently a teenager, let it out if you want. You know? It's all good.
Yeah. Talk. Talk.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Goodbye.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.